everyone, so this video is about how to create a self-portrait in Google Drawings. Now we're all going to be creating self-portraits like this that are just from our eyes up because everyone's going to have a white box just like this one does. And what we're going to do at the very end is we're going to take a stanza from the poem The Hill We Climb. That was the poem that Amanda Gorman wrote and performed at the presidential inauguration last month. And it's a really beautiful poem. We'll listen to it in class and you'll be more familiar with it then. But we're all going to be taking basically like a line from the poem and putting it here, and then we're going to put them all together so you can read the poem along with our self-portraits. So I made this one of Amanda Gorman, and we're going to go ahead and make one together that's a self-portrait of you. So I also made this one. This is my self-portrait, and this is kind of the exemplar. This is the example of what we're shooting for. So let's get started. So to get started, the first thing you need to do is open up your Chrome browser and come to your Google search engine. Now we're going to do this in Google Drawings. This is the program that you used for your All About Me collage when you made that digital collage of things you liked and things that described you. So same way as you got to the All About Me collage, same way to get to Google Drawings. Just type in the search engine Google Drawings, click enter, and it should be that first tab right there. So you can just go ahead and click on that, and this will open up Google Drawings for you. So the first thing you need to do is label your Google Drawings so you'll be able to find it later. So I'm just going to put in my last name, and I'm going to put self-portrait because that's what it's going to be. Okay, now if you remember from the All About Me collage, I told you that when you're in Google Drawings, you can think about this white square that has all the like little squares in it as your canvas. So everything that's in this white square will be in your final picture when you download it. Anything that's not in the white square, like over here on the sides, will not be included. So you need to make sure that everything you want to be included is on this white square, okay? So the first thing we're going to do, now that we've given our portrait a title, is we're going to create that white text box at the bottom. So remember, I want you to have a pretty large like white text box down here where we can write in parts of the poem. So go ahead and come up here to the toolbox, and you're going to click on the one that has this little circle and square, the shapes tool. So click on shapes and click on the rectangle, and then you're able, by pressing down on your mouse and holding down, to create a rectangle. And I'm just going to make mine just a little bit less than half of the canvas all the way to the bottom of the canvas. And it's going to show up as this blue color. But I'm just going to go ahead and change it to black so that I'll know that it's there. I can see it. It's really obvious, and I won't draw anything on it because I want to keep it blank for at the very end when I add in parts of the poem. Okay, so that's step one. Your canvas online should look just like this. Second step is we're going to add our face. Remember, we're creating a self-portrait. So let's go ahead and add in a circle for our face. So once again, you're going to come back to the shape tool, click on shapes, but this time let's choose the circle, or it's called oval actually. And I'm going to kind of start up towards the top a little bit, and I'm going to draw a big circle that even comes down to the black box. That's okay. And you can make it a little bit bigger or smaller, whatever you think would be right. I'm just going to move mine up a little bit. And then now our face is the circles in front of the black box. And we want the black box to be in the front, right? We want that to be in the most front. So we're going to take the black box, highlight it so that it has the blue square if you press 2 fingers to the mouse pad, 2 fingers, click once, this toolbox comes up and you're going to go to Order and you're going to send the black box all the way to the front. That way it'll be overlapping the circle, just like that. So now that's in the right space. So let's change the color of the circle to our skin color. Now this is going to be different for everyone depending on what your skin color is. But if you go to the paint can at the top, click on Fill Color, and I'm going to choose, I think this one's pretty close to my skin color. There's lots of good skin colors here. There's some up here. And you can even do a custom skin color if you don't quite see which one fits you. But I think this one's pretty close to me. Oh, maybe that's a little darker than I am. Maybe this one. Yeah, okay, I think that's a good one. And then you can see I still have kind of a black border, and I definitely don't want that. So you're going to come here to Border Color. That's the little pencil tool. And click Transparent. That's super important. You really don't want a border on a lot of parts of your face. So make sure you remember how to do that. All right, so I've got a face. I've got my text box down here. The next thing we're going to do is add the eyes. And that's all we're doing for today. So you're going to add eyes, you're going to add the face, and you're going to add the text box, and then you're finished for today. And next class, we will finish the portrait by adding all the other things. So let's go ahead and add in some eyes. Now, there's not really a good shape for eyes. So what I like to do is come over here to the line tool and make my own shape. So click on the line and come all the way down to the curve option. You want the curve option. This is going to allow you to create curved shapes. So I'm going to start where I think, the inside corner of my eye might be. And I'm just going to click through. And every time I click, I'm making a new kind of measuring point. And I'm just going to draw that kind of oval shape of my eye. It doesn't have to be perfect. There, I think that'll be a pretty good eye. And if you don't like it, you can delete it and restart. And I'll show you another little trick here in a second if you don't like the shape that you just created. But first, let's go ahead and we're going to make this eye white because it's going to be the outside of our eye, and we're going to add layers on for the rest of our eye. So this is going to be the whites of our eyes. And then you see it has a black border, and I actually like the black border for eyes. It's the only one I like for eyes because I think it helps you look like eyelashes. So what I'm actually going to do is make that border a little bigger. So I'm going to leave my border the black color, and I'm going to come over here to the little bars. That's the border weight, and I'm going to make it 3. So it's just a little bit thicker, okay? Now, if you have looked in the mirror lately, you've probably realized that you have 2 eyes, not 1. So instead of drawing out another shape for an eye, let's just copy and paste what we already have. So click on the arrow tool so that you'll have your regular mouse again. And once this eye, the shape that you just drew is the blue square, you can press 2 fingers, 1 click. 2 fingers, 1 click. Oops, not that one. I want this one. 2 fingers, 1 click. Well, most of the time it works. And you're going to copy. And then paste. So now I've got 2 eyes, but this one is going the wrong direction. So 2 fingers, 1 click again. And you're going to go to rotate. And you're going to flip this shape horizontally. So rotate, flip horizontally. Now I've got 2 good looking eyes, just like that. And I think my eyes are a little bit too far apart. So I'm going to move them a little closer together, whatever you think is best. Now let's build our eyes. So the next thing we're going to do is add the color of your eye. iris of your eye. That's the colored part. So we can use the circle tool for that. So shapes, oval, but it's really a circle. And draw out pretty big looking iris. And then you want to change the color of that, make that whatever color your eyes are. Mine are kind of like a pretty blue. And I'm gonna, once again, make it the border transparent. Okay, and then I can copy and paste that as well. So copy, paste, send it over, line it up. All right, I'm starting to look a little bit more like an eye. Next thing I'm going to do is add the pupil, the black part of my eye, and it's just a smaller circle. So once again, shapes, choose the circle, and draw out, oops. Draw yourself out a little circle. Now it's still blue, and I'm going to have to change the color to black so I can see it better. That looks about right. Copy, paste, because we want all our eyes to look the same. And drag it over. Now I've got 2 eyes. Okay, so the last part you want to add on your eye is the light reflection. That's the little like white part in your eye that makes a nice little reflection. It's just a tiny little white circle. So you're, once again, with the shape tool, you're going to draw a really, really small white circle in the top right corner of your eye. And you're going to do the same thing over there. It's pretty hard to copy and paste that tiny of a shape, so I'm just going to make a new one. It's okay if they don't look exactly the same. It's typically you don't have the exact same light reflection in both your eyes if there's multiple lights in a room. Make this one just a little bit bigger. All right, so now I've got my black square for my text box. I've drawn the shape of my face using the circle tool, and I've drawn out my 2 eyes. This is finished for today. So you can stop here. Everything is automatically saved onto your Google Drive. It's just like a Google Doc. So it's automatically saved for you. It's okay if you exit out of it. And next class, we're going to pull this back up and we're going to add in the hair and the nose and the background. Okay? All right. I will see you guys next class.